Hey everyone, it's me. Oh, I got cheese on my chin. I just got done eating dinner. So tonight's dinner, I'm just gonna kind of tell you, I don't really have measurements. So I feel like measure with your heart for some of these. Um, so, um, tonight's dinner was chicken in the crock pot. And it said cream. And I think I said in my grocery video, like, it didn't specifically say what kind of cream, like heavy cream, whipping cream. Um, there's so many creams out there, right? There's sour cream. Um, cream cheese. It didn't say what kind of cream to use. So, I mean, I guess you could have probably used milk, maybe. I don't know. Um, and there wasn't really a picture. It was from someone site. So, but again, she didn't put measurements. So I measured with my heart and hoped for the best, I guess. So I used whipping cream. And yes, it's very hearty, as we know. So I did chicken breast. That's what I always use is chicken breast. I don't use any other thing. Boneless, skinless chicken breast. So like if it calls for thighs, if it calls for legs, I'm gonna use chicken breast. That's just who I am. So, um, I used a thing of chicken breast. I put cream, whipping cream in it. Um, and used the whole, it's a small container. I used the whole container. And then Italian seasoning, again, measuring with your heart. Um, Garlic, I used real garlic. You could probably use garlic powder or garlic, whatever you want to use, I guess. And then it called for butter. So I did a half a stick. That might have still been too much, definitely. I'm not sure. Again, there's no measurements for these recipes, so again, it's measuring with your heart, which is kind of my kind of recipe, anyways. Um, I am one who I like to create things. Again, that I am an artsy person and I love to do art and create things. So my mom sometimes was scared, but sometimes my creations came out great. Um, so then it called for, again, the Italian seasoning, cream, chicken, butter, and then pasta. Um, and then at the end, you add Parmesan cheese. So I will tell you what I did. I did not measure. I used the whole whipping cream, Italian seasoning, and butter all in with the chicken. Let it cook for 6 hours. I did mine on high. I'm very picky, so I know that if you cook things on high, it's supposed to get done like 4 to 6 hours, I think. So I'm a person who I cook my stuff even on high 6 to 8 hours, just because I need to know it's done. Like it died, it's done. It like it's not not coming back to life type thing. I'm just joking, but you get the point. Um, so I did mine for 6 hours on high, and my house smelled amazing from just the chicken and stuff mix. Then I did my pasta on the stove because I've tried to add it to like your crock pot, but I never find it works for me. So I did mine on the stove, poured it in the crock pot, mixed it all together, and then added the cheese for a few minutes, put the lid on, and then it was done. And and I used well, you guys saw the round thing of, the Parmesan cheese. So I used the whole thing. Um, and mixed it in there, and I won't say it wasn't, it was a good meal. I like my husband's more of a plain person with some things, because that's what his mom did. She didn't put hot peppers and add all this pepper flakes and, all this seasoning. The best she does is salt and pepper on the table. And my mom was the same way. She called it plain food. And it definitely was to me. I like flavor. So, after I put mine in my bowl, I put black pepper on top of it. If I don't use like hot pepper flakes, I at least add black pepper. And I did add a little salt. I don't cook with salt. Like, you will never see me cook with salt, like adding, salt to the food. But if I take it out and put it in my bowl and I feel like it needs a little salt, then I'm going to add it. So yeah, it was good. I mean, I definitely would make it again. So I did make dessert tonight also. So I'm going to go over that with you guys now. I made banana peppers? No. I made banana pudding tonight. And I used vanilla pudding sugar-free mix, which again you probably saw in my video of the grocery hauls. I mixed it with the vanilla protein milk, or whatever that's called. Vanilla protein milk or vanilla protein shake. I don't know. So I mixed it with that. And then I added some, because the milk only had 26 grams of protein in it. So I added some plain vanilla Greek yogurt into it to give it some more protein, right? And I mixed all that. And then I put the bananas on top, of course. Can't forget the bananas. I don't like bananas. So I'm good like with the pudding and the cookies. But my family likes bananas. So yeah, I didn't eat it, but because it's still in the fridge. So I added the bananas, and then of course you can't forget the vanilla wafers, which I did put on top of that. And then when I take it out, I'll put like a little whipped cream on top. So that is what's for dessert tonight. And I have to say I'm full from the chicken and pasta right now. So dessert won't probably be until my husband gets home. But yeah, so that was dinner tonight. So again, with the banana pudding, I didn't measure. It was, adding a little, because the milk, you saw, it's not the biggest thing of milk. And I think it's Fairlife milk. So you can get the little bottles of it. And so that's what I did. And it's a vanilla. And so I kind of poured it in little by little because I didn't want it to get watery. But it actually hardened up pretty fast. So again, it was in my yogurt, I measured with my heart and kind of mixed in just to give it added protein. So hopefully it will be good. So that was dinner and dessert tonight. I don't think I'll probably make dessert every night. But once in a while, and it's not bad to have a little something. We all need something once in a while when we get that sweet tooth, right? So that was dinner tonight. So I got some of my living room picked up tonight also. and I have lots of boxes. It was so funny because I had ordered a shirt. If you guys saw, I ordered 2 shirts with my groceries yesterday, and they gave me one of the shirts, and the other one they didn't have at my store, so they offered to ship it for free. I mean, who's gonna say no, right? I mean, obviously I'm still getting charged for it, so, but because I paid for it, they would ship it for free. So it did show up today finally, and it was one shirt, and it was in a pretty good sized box, which I thought was funny. They could have used a shipping bag, definitely. But yeah, so I did get that today. It's a really pretty green. And so yeah, I've been taking care of different rooms, different paperwork that I needed to take care of. I still have a lot of paperwork. My mom, all her paperwork keeps me so busy. Which, anyways, today was 66 degrees, guys, here. And I never got to go outside and enjoy it. Because I was so focused on cleaning and taking care of things in my house. A lot of times I miss the nice weather. Anyway, so was it warm where you live today? I am curious, and then I saw tomorrow it's going to be in the 40s. And then and then the next day I think it's going to be in the 60s again. So this is definitely when people are going to start getting sick. Again, I'm a true believer of that, where it goes back and forth, that people get sick. My kids make fun of me because they're like, Mom, people don't get sick because of the weather. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of what my parents used to say. You're going to get sick. You're going to catch cold if you don't have a jacket on. Things like that, right? But yeah, I think this is kind of when people start getting sick again, I feel like. The back and forth weather. Whether they have a jacket or not. I don't know what causes it, really. Or maybe it just people start getting together more and spreading things around. I don't know. And I don't want to find out, really. I am one of those people who I don't like. I am weird about certain things because, in the winter, until it's almost summer or even summer sometimes, I will not go to Chuck E. Cheese or game rooms. Just because I'm not a germ a phobic person, but I am. What I mean by that is, I gotta think. So my immune system has always, since I can ever remember, it's always been horrible. People said, oh, when you have kids, it will get better because they'll bring everything home, It did not get stronger. And I would get sick and have some kind of, stomach bug or something. And then when I thought it was out of my house and maybe it went through my family, guess what? Again, I'd get sick with the next one. And so I was so tired of being sick all the time. And I'm a big fan of Lysol spray, Lysol products. But one thing I noticed is every time I go around my house spraying it down with Lysol, I get sick. So I don't know if the Lysol, me spraying it is because there is air to push it out. I don't know if it's making the germs spray everywhere and then I'm getting sick. But I'm just this is ridiculous. I just cleaned my house. I just sprayed it down. I got the windows open, all of it. And I swear to you, it never fails. So, yeah, I don't know, but I have a bad immune system. So I don't go to like game plays because everybody's touching the balls for skee ball and the buttons, right? And then people are like, well, don't put your hands near your mouth, don't put them near your eyes. Well, who remembers that? First of all, I mean, I don't realize that I'm like, I don't sit there and think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put my hand up to my mouth. You just do it. Um, so yeah, or even I will not go to buffets. Of course I don't go to them very often. Except for if you have teenage boys or 20-year-olds or 21-year-olds, or that's a great place, don't get me wrong. But I don't go to them very often. The last time I was at a buffet was one of my kids' birthdays because that's where he wanted to eat. And that might have been 2 or 3 years ago. But yeah, I don't go to buffets in the winters, and again, not until I know like it's warm and it's staying warm. Because again, you go to buffets and everybody's touching the same spoons to get the food out of the, whatever they're called, to put on your plate. So yeah, and another reason is I had taken my kid, and this is my oldest kid, okay, when he was about 3 or 4, to our local mall. And malls have the play area for kids. And it was part of therapy for him, trying to get him to understand to play with other kids and not parallel play. Being autistic, they like to parallel play a lot. And so, we were working on that. And there was this kid, I still remember, that day, like it was yesterday. There was this kid there, and he had this runny nose. I can't remember if he was sneezing, but I know his poor nose was running into his mouth. And of course, every little kid are doing this. And his mom's there, and of course, what does she say? Oh, don't worry, he's not contagious. Really, Mom? Really? Because he was. Very contagious. And guess who ended up sick? Oh, yeah. My kid and I both ended up sick. So, no, I don't go to those places. I don't like to really go anywhere that, like, we went to the mall. We don't go shopping. We walk the actual mall. So, like, we're in the middle, we're walking. We did eat at the mall. And I don't even like to do that, but I did it for my kid. Because you don't know how well they clean the tables that you ate at or anything like that. Like, I could, like, keep myself away from a lot of things. So, and then what's even worse is my oldest, he works at a kid, like, friendly place. Maybe that came out wrong, but you know what I mean. Like, a Chuck E. Cheese type place. And, of course, he's, like, would be the person that you walk in and see, like when you first get there. So you can imagine, I'm like, oh, yeah, so that is why I don't go to these places in the winter. So of course that means that cuts down more places for me to go, which I end up staying home most of the time, like I said, in the winter. Now, today, the kids had the school day off for Columbus Day or President. I don't know what it is. What is it, guys? Is it Columbus Day? I don't really pay attention. I just know that my kid had a day off. Like, my husband will be like, oh, why do they have the day off? I don't know. I don't look. I just know they have the day off. I'm lucky I make it that far. Anyways. So yeah, I think it's President's Day. I don't know. It's one of those, right? Anyway, so um my kid wanted to go out and I felt bad because I was so focused on cleaning. Like there was no going out today. Um, you know, you don't realize how much your parents do for you until they're not available to do it. Money wise, helping you out in so many ways. So appreciate your parents while you have them and appreciate what they do for you because one day that won't be there. And, you know, appreciate everything, believe me. Which thankfully I have always appreciated my mom. And she was my best friend, so we did everything together. Everything, But yeah, so he asked my oldest to take him to the movies, some movies out he wanted to see. And then of course I felt bad because I didn't do it. I didn't take him, So then I felt bad. But when I, talked to him, he said, it's okay, I don't know if it is okay, but I appreciate him saying that. Anyway, so yeah, as far as why I don't go places, that is why, because I do get sick, or I seem to get sick easy. And I don't know, like, and who wants to be sick? I mean, really, right? I guess there might be some out there that want to be, but anyways, so I think that's about it. All my exciting. Oh, I know. The reason I don't eat bananas, and maybe I told you guys this story, I'm not sure. I don't eat bananas because I remember this is, we all have childhood trauma, and I said this recently, and we do. We don't realize how many things from our childhood we bring into our adulthood. And I'm learning more about that. And it's been interesting. And I do see things that I have brought in from my childhood. And I didn't think I ever had that. Because, like I said, I have seen, like the TV show, which I'm sure you guys have watched at least once in your life, like 600-Pound Life or one of those shows. And the doctor will send some of the people to therapy and they will talk about their childhood and what they've been through. And then they will realize, oh crap, that's what happened to me. Like that has affected like my weight or this or that. And it's really interesting because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I don't have childhood trauma. My childhood was great. It was fine. I don't care if you had the perfect childhood. We all took something from it and thought it was bad. And I'm trying to learn mine and trying to see this. And so because of that, like that's one thing I've been working on within myself. Because I always had a wall up. But anyway, so when I was a child, my mom and I, we lived with my grandma for a little bit. And I remember my grandma always saying, don't eat a green banana. So it means it's not ripe. It will upset your stomach. And I remember her saying this. And so, of course, I never ate one. That was gross. Anyway. So, there was one morning that my mom and I were running late. And there must not have been anything for breakfast. Or not much. And my grandma had green bananas. So my mom's like, here, hurry up and eat this. And I'm like, I can't eat that because, and I told her what my grandma said. And she's like, oh, no, you'll be fine. It's not going to upset your stomach. Like, it's fine. It still tastes the same. It's just not fully right. So I'm like, okay. I mean, she's my mom, right? Of course you believe her. So I ate it. And my stomach did hurt the rest of the day. And my school wouldn't let me call home. So after that, I would never eat another green banana or a banana, a ripe one. I hate bananas since that day. And I've tried to force myself to eat them, and I feel like I'm just going to vomit now. So that's why I don't eat bananas. I'm sure it sounds silly to most people, and it probably would have to me if I didn't have to go through that when I was younger. So the other food I won't eat, I have said that my mom is a vegetarian, is lentils. Any kind. I don't care what color it is. My mom made, when I was younger, she made sloppy joes, but with lentils. And I went to school, and I got very sick. And I was vomiting and vomiting. My school wouldn't let me go home. They wouldn't call my mom. So I just had to keep vomiting, and I was so sick. Later, now that I've been older, I've decided I probably had a stomach bug, and I just happened to be the last thing I ate at that point, but I'm not willing to take that chance. So I do not eat lentils. Well, that's it for now. Talk to you guys later. Bye.